morning, guys. We're back down in Surrey at our, I don't even know what it is, 10 million plus pound mansion. So as you've seen, we've been putting in some L-Acoustics speakers. Now, the original scheme that was in here was too quiet for the owner. Wasn't enough bass. Yeah, it just wasn't performing. So we knew that the only way that we could satisfy his, I guess you can call them audio desires, would be to put L-Acoustics in. So we've done just that. So we put two X4Is in, two SP10 subwoofers, and we've got Richard round the back now from L-Acoustics giving it a calibrate. So yeah, I'm just going to walk you through sort of what we had in there, why we've made the changes, what we're hoping to achieve, and yeah, a little bit of how we got into this job in the first place. So yeah, stay tuned.
So this light is a custom piece from Morocco, I believe. But it turned up, and I said to the client, is this brand new? And he said, yeah, because the insides were just, had the oldest lamp holder I've ever seen. The quality of the cable was awful. So we actually had to take this apart and retrofit a new high quality driver, new wiring, new lamp holder. And we're running this on a halogen lamp. And what we've done, we've applied very soft fade to try and extend the life of the halogen lamp. So there's a cold start phase when the lamp's been off, so this will only turn on to 30% until it's warmed up to stop that sort of initial shock of the element inside the bulb going to sort of near enough full power quite quickly. So we'll bring it on at 30%, let it warm up, and then we'll raise it up. So when the customer sort of comes in and we turn this light on, it will initially only go to 30% for a few seconds, and then we'll go up again. And that's just what we've done to try and extend the life of the halogen lamp in there, because nobody wants to keep taking it off. And with light fittings like this, you just can't, although LED has come a long way, sometimes you just can't replicate what a halogen lamp can do with LED. So yeah, it's an interesting little fact about that. So we've got Rich from L-Acoustics here, who's just going to calibrate what we've installed. So we've got two mono plus sub setups, would you call it? Yeah. So you're just going to explain exactly what he's here to do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've got mono X4Is and single SD10 in two separate areas out here. The point of my job is to come and calibrate the system. Obviously, when a system gets installed, acoustic systems sound great out of the box, but every system needs to be fine-tuned for the listening environment and a bit of balancing, etc. So that's my job, using our proprietary M1 software, E1 processor. We'll take some measurements of the system. We'll help it match the L-Acoustics sonic signature, contour curves, balance the bass, tweak the EQ, the best listening experience.
So we tried to do things a little bit differently here. One thing I cannot bear is on, chill, off, just does my head in. So as you can see here, we've chosen words like relax and tranquility to really complement the space. I mean, this is an area where the client looks to come to sit down, chill out. And as much as, you know, that is what he's doing, chilling out, having the word chill on a keypad on a property like this is just, my personal opinion, a bit cheesy. So as we move into back here, it's a bit tight in here. So I sort of inherited this project. So this isn't my rack, but what we've got here is the main brains of the system. So you can see we've got the network comes in from the other side. And then we've got a network switch here, kaleidoscope zone for the cinema, CA10 controller on the EA5. Underneath that, some sources, amplification for the cinema room, PDUs. There is the L-Acoustics LA4X amplifier, which is driving that setup outside. And then we've got a couple of like triad audio matrix and some episode amps and stuff. And then at the bottom there, we've got a battery, UPS battery, and a power conditioner. So large rack. There's a lot of stuff in there, but not a lot of stuff in there, if that makes sense. A lot of this house has got local systems. So we've got Sky Q boxes behind TVs dotted all around the house and stuff like that. And the EA1's placed everywhere. So there's not much in here. This here does sort of sources for the cinema, amplification, that sort of thing. We've got a couple of these lighting panels around the property. Excuse the state of these, there's nothing to do with us. It's how the builders have helped us out on this job. But what we have done is labeled up. You don't really see much people labeling up their lighting control panels. So we've got custom lighting panels here, which are actually available to purchase on the website. So yeah, we can do custom, your logo, any text underneath, and then yeah, you're able to label up your channel. So we've got a couple of those dotted around.
With that touchscreen just over in the entertainment lounge, it isn't working. I've done a quick test, found the cable, done a quick test, and we've lost cores 1, 2, 7, and 8. Tested the cable that's going between the switch and the patch, and it's all good. Problem being that one, this is tight as anything to get to, but also I believe that this is a punch down patch. So the problem with punch down patches is that you can't really tell how well something's punched down. With keystone patch, that would sort of eliminate the issue, but so now I can't really tell if the issue is a punch down or we've got damage on the cable. The other end looks fine, but I haven't really got much slack and there's loads of cables in here to sort of tell if the punch down's good or not. It looks okay, but again, we've got issues, so not much I can do other than I'll probably see if I've got a keystone and get that pull that out of the punch down, see if I can't re-terminate it and get a good line. Not good, man. I'm disappointed that the cable's gone down. But this is one of those things that there's not much I can do. As a standard, we'd sort of always run a cable for redundancy. So everywhere where there's sort of one network cable required to run two. So for a camera, you'd run 2 cables. For an access point, you'd run 2 cables. For a touchscreen, you'd run 2 cables, just in case you've got this issue where one goes down, you've got a backup. Whereas now, we don't have a backup. There are a few options whereby we can just power the touch screen and then it just connects over Wi-Fi. Where this is sort of a PoE device, we'll see if we can swap it out, but yeah, at the moment I'm just annoyed. I'm going to see if we can get to it, but over in that top corner we've got a white channel out on the LED. So we've got some new LED tape here from InStyle. Shout out to Luke at InStyle. Got this over here today. I'm going to see if I can get that in today. But again, this is just sort of part of the little bits that we're going through sorting out. So the rest of the colours work, but just the white channel doesn't. So we'll hopefully try and get that swapped out, but it's a bit of a sketchy one because it's right on the edge of the pool. Cool, so over here we've got the barbecue area. So this is, as you can see, featuring one of our 2.1 setups. You can hear the sine sweep that they're doing there, so just take some measurements from the system. Originally we had 2 Gallo Acoustic Habitat speakers here and a Polk audio sub down below. Problem being that they were run on a Triad 1. Now the Triad 1 will give you 100 watts at 4 ohms, but at 8 ohms only 60 watts. So these were only pushing out 60 watts, and then because the Gallo Acoustics can only run 50 watts on full spectrum, but if you want to apply a crossover, they can run at 100 watts. So crossover had been applied to these speakers, but the subwoofer was also on the same speaker line. So installing the crossover settings onto the same line as the subwoofer took all the bass out. So the same was happening over in that area there where we had a 4.1 Sonance patio series setup. But so yeah, we just had a complete lack of bass. And as you can imagine, 60 watts, a complete lack of any sort of power. The client was having to sort of max the volume gain to try and even barely hear it. So it just weren't going to cut it. So, you know, we knew that we had to do something drastic. So I said to him, look, we've either got to, you live with what you have, or we're going to have to go to the other end of the spectrum and go all out guns blazing, and here we are. So yeah, this rocks. It fucking rocks. So yeah, once we get it calibrated, client's happy as it is, but yeah, he's about to be blown away.
You can sit on it.
That's an excuse to get invited to every party.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that? One happy customer. That's how we do it. Listen, see what he wants, sort it out, done. Simple as that. So there you go, as you can see, client's happy, installation went beautifully. We've got a few little bits to sort out, but other than that, I mean, yeah, it couldn't have gone any better. So yeah, hopefully that's the first of many L-Acoustics installs. And yeah, if you've got any questions, emails below, shout out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.